So I've been just kind of going through a few personal things that have caused me to get depressed sometimes, or just get down or frustrated or angry. And the more I spiritually consider these things, I just keep hearing and feeling that the more aware I am of the true nature of God and the true nature of spirit and the true nature of the Creator, these things will dissipate. And I know that sounds real mystical and funny sounding, but has anybody ever just had either a real frustrating period of time, whether it's a day or it lasts a week or maybe it lasts a month, but where you just have bouts of getting down on yourself or feeling really frustrated? And I'm sure we all had those moments. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the misconceptions we have about God. And for me, at least, that's the cause of a lot of the frustrations that I feel. So, in religion, when you grow up in Sunday school class, or, whatever faith you aspire to, we hear about God being a just God, or even God being all merciful and all loving. But we also hear that God is an angry God that punishes sin, and that God cannot live with sin. And I personally believe this is a misconception. I think a lot of times, and oftentimes, more than a lot actually, we put human natures on God. And I don't even mean the traditional sense of God, as in, the vision of, what Michael painted on the Sistine Chapel. Some old white guy with a white hair and white beard. Or, the voice we hear as, Charlton Heston from his movies, or, some thundering, scary voice that we hear. I think God is more a spirit. In fact, scriptures tell us that God is not the human characteristics that we have traditionally passed down over the years. And God is not, the things that we assert to him based off our own experiences. Most of the time, our own experiences with our fathers are projected on to our image that we have of God as male, or as white, or as black, or as angry. These are all characteristics, that we get from humans. But the more I begin to be aware that God is pure love, and he's only that, or she's only that, or it's only that, what have you. And I know a lot of these things seem blasphemous, but the feeling and experience of mercy, being able to have mercy towards yourself and mercy towards others who offend you, is really the key to feeling that release from that frustration I spoke about earlier. Or to be able to feel that release from the frustration that you have towards life or towards a certain experience. You may have your back against the wall with financial situations, or your back against the wall with relationship situations, or your back against the wall with, where you want to be at in your career, what have you, or just a personal experience from the past, or something you're going through now. And I've just time and time again, every time I get in those situations and bang my head up against the wall and try to figure it out and try to get out of the hole, I always am reminded and have to come back to, how do I see God? And it's not the mystical figure in the sky, as I said, but how do I see love? How do I see spirit? And what I mean by that is if God is impersonal being that is on a different planet or in a different realm, and you have to do rituals to reach and earn his pleasure, then that can be indicative of the frustration that we feel sometimes spiritually. However, if we are learning to love more, if we're learning to forgive more, if we're learning to show mercy towards ourselves, for instance, whenever I make a mistake, sometimes when I'm driving, most of my biggest frustrations come while I'm driving. So sometimes if I'm driving and I miss my exit, I cuss myself out. I get mad at myself. You dumb idiot. How could you do this? Or, I'm clumsy. So sometimes I'll fix myself a delicious plate of food and trip, and it drops all over the floor. And I'll cuss myself out and get mad at myself. Or somebody will do something to me, whether it's, a child I'm working with at my workplace, or one of my friends will offend me, or somebody I'm dating will offend me, and I'll get so mad at that person. And really, my ability, I have to test my levels to be able to know if I'm able to actually extend mercy towards this person, how forgiving I am towards this person. If I'm getting so frustrated that I can't see straight and all I can see is what they did to me, and until they rectify that, I'm still going to be mad. That's a lot of the root of where our own frustrations come from, just in life situations. So I just wanted to speak on this experience I'm having right now at this moment, just personally, as I'm experiencing a lot of frustration about my finances, about my relationships, about my friendships, about my career and where I want to go. And I think it's more of a spiritual issue. Now I can set goals and go towards those things and meet those objectives, However, I think overall the frustrating part of it can actually dissipate and can actually be alleviated and pacified as I continue to learn that love is the ultimate answer. And I don't have to be frustrated or to try to cross all my T's or dot all my I's to reach my goals. And when I experience frustration, be angry and tense and, basically I feel like I'm having those experiences because that's the way I view life, or I view God as frustrating. But as I said, the more we're able to love, the more we're able to forgive ourselves, the more we're able to show ourselves mercy in those moments and be able to let those things go and be able to say, oh, well, that's just something that happened and it can pass just as easily. If somebody does something to offend us, once we're able to find or discover the ability to show that person mercy, or to not be frustrated with that person to the point of disconnecting from them or getting revenge on them or putting up a wall with them, those are the experiences that I think are the foundation of the frustrations we have in life. So, as I said, really just think about your conception of who God is. Is he male? Is it, the white guy on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Is it Charlton Heston's voice? Or is it the ability to really just experience an enjoyment and a peace about life, and just to be able to really love yourself and love others freely? And when you're able to experience that, I think everything else falls into place. Thank you.